Hey guys, today we're going to be making the video that everyone and their brother is making. Should FTKs be in Yu-Gi-Oh? Spoiler alert, yes, I think they should be. However, not all of them should be, obviously. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to see more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content from me. Now, the time of recording for this video is at the end of round 1 of YCS Bochum, and I think a lot of people are really interested to see how well Magician FTK and Gem Knight FTK do. So, I know there's a lot of people who think that FTKs should not exist. I personally think they kind of should. I think that they're a representation of creativity in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think a lot of FTKs are very creative, and I think that that's something that should be encouraged in this game. Yes, it becomes less creative once everyone copies it, but I think a lot of FTKs do need continuous improvement changes depending on how people adapt to it, how the format changes. I think also the consistency of the FTK, how consistent it can be, changes by format, which makes them very difficult to balance. And in that sense, maybe they should all just be pretty weak, because if you have something on the fringe, I think Gem Knight FTK is a deck that's sort of on the fringe right now of being too consistent. Yes, we have hand traps to stop stuff that they play, but it's a very, very consistent FTK. And the main issue I think a lot of people have with the current FTKs right now is what FTKs should not have and what makes them not good to have. And that is a safety net. Somewhere to stop, a failsafe. If I fail this FTK, I am still going to have something to sit on. I'm going to have something to show for it. Gem Knights do this a little bit. They have really big monsters they can end on regardless of whether they FTK, but it's not really a great setup per se. It doesn't protect itself. The board doesn't protect itself really at all. However, with Magician FTK, it's basically just slightly worse Pendulum Magician's normal. With an added in FTK. It's just normal Magicians, but slightly brickier. And that's just not really okay. And I think those are the kinds of FTKs that are the most frustrating, is ones that not only are very consistent, but if they fail to OTK, it doesn't really matter. A lot of the time, they're still going to have a pretty good board. And they do, if you've ever played against the deck. So I think that's kind of the long and the short of it. I feel like this debate is probably, it's a lot longer than it needs to be. Really what it comes down to is how consistent can it be and what happens if you fail to FTK. If you have anything remotely strong failing an FTK, it's probably too strong. Probably. And consistency, what's acceptable differs by format. And I think this is a format where Gem Knight FTK is okay. I'm afraid it might not be okay very soon, though. I think once we get called from the grave, it may very well be too strong. I think we can all agree that Pendulum Magician FTK needs to go right now. The fact that you can try to FTK, it's very consistent, and if you fail, you can still end on a Pendulum Magician board. That's ridiculous. I expect this deck to have a lot more tops at Bochum than it did at Atlanta, now that everyone knows that, hey, it's actually legit. So, yeah. I think that's really all this boils down to, just those few points. There isn't really a whole lot else to talk about on the subject. So here's my quick video on that. I'm going to be talking about Atlanta and Bochum both in one video on Monday. I'm going to be releasing a series of videos afterwards on various topics with those events in mind. So I will see you guys in those videos. Bye.